I turned on the light immediately. The room was empty. The door was closed. The hallway beyond it was silent. That was when I ordered the camera. It was a cheap indoor security cam. Nothing special. Motion detection, night vision, cloud storage. I set it up in the corner of my bedroom, angled toward the door and most of the room. The first night, nothing happened. The second night, nothing again. On the third night, I checked the app in the morning. There was a notification. Motion detected, 2:41 a.m. My stomach tightened. I opened the clip. The screen showed my bedroom in night vision. Grainy. Green. I was lying in bed, facing away from the camera. Still asleep. Nothing moved. I almost laughed. Then the timestamp advanced. 2:41:12. And something changed. The angle of the room shifted. Not like the camera moved. Like the room itself was slightly different. The walls looked farther apart. The ceiling seemed higher. And the door was in the wrong place. It wasn't directly in front of the bed anymore. It was slightly to the left. Like the layout of the room had been rearranged. I leaned closer to the screen. Then something moved. At the far edge of the frame, a shadow. Tall. Too tall for the ceiling. It stepped into view slowly, and I felt my chest tighten as I realized something impossible. The shadow wasn't in my room. It was in a room that looked like mine, but wasn't. The figure stood beside the bed. Beside me. Except the version of me in the video didn't react, didn't move, didn't breathe. The shadow leaned down slowly, and the video cut to black. I checked the rest of the footage. There was nothing else. No second clip. No explanation. Just that one recording at 2:41 a.m. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat in the living room with all the lights on, watching the bedroom door. At 2:41, the footsteps started again. From the hallway. Slow. Measured. They stopped outside the bedroom. Then the knock came again. 3 taps. On the wall. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. Then something spoke. From the other side of the wall. Not loud. Not clear. But enough to understand. Stay asleep. I felt something inside my chest go cold. I grabbed my phone and opened the camera app. The live feed showed my bedroom. Empty. Still. Normal. Then the screen flickered. The image shifted again. The same wrong room appeared. The same distorted layout. And this time, I wasn't in bed. The bed was empty. The shadow was standing in the middle of the room, looking directly into the camera. Into me. The figure tilted its head slowly, then raised one long arm and pointed. Toward the camera. Toward where I was watching from. The feed cut out. The next morning I measured the room. Everything seemed normal. The door was where it should be. The walls were the correct distance apart. But something felt off. Subtle. Like the space was slightly tighter than it should be. That was when I noticed the closet. It was deeper than I remembered, not by much, just a few inches. But enough to make me stop and stare. That night, I didn't turn the camera on. I didn't want to see it again. But at 2:41 a.m., I woke up anyway, to silence. No footsteps, no knocking, just stillness. I sat up slowly. The bedroom felt different, larger. The air felt colder. I turned my head toward the door, and my stomach dropped. The door was in the wrong place, exactly like in the video. Shifted slightly to the left. My breathing became shallow. I swung my legs off the bed and stood up. The floor creaked. The sound echoed longer than it should have, like the room was bigger than before. I stepped toward the door, and something moved behind me. I turned slowly. The closet door was open. Just slightly. Darkness inside. Deeper than it should have been. And then I saw it. Movement. Something standing inside the closet. Too far back. Too tall. The shape didn't fit the space. It leaned forward slowly. And I saw my own face. Staring back at me. But wrong. The eyes were too wide. The smile too slow. Too deliberate. It stepped out of the closet. And I realized something that made my chest tighten. It wasn't stepping into my room. I was standing in its room. The thing smiled wider, then spoke, in my voice. "You're in the wrong one." I stumbled backward. The door behind me slammed shut. The lights flickered. And suddenly, I was back in my bed. The room normal again. The door in the right place. The closet closed. I sat there, shaking, trying to understand what had just happened. Then my phone vibrated. A new notification. From the camera. Recording saved. 2:41 a.m. I opened the app slowly. The video loaded. The night vision showed the room. My room. The correct one. I was lying in bed. But I wasn't asleep. I was sitting up, staring directly at the camera, smiling. The version of me in the video raised a hand, slowly, and waved, then whispered something. The audio was barely audible. I turned the volume up, listened carefully, and felt my blood run cold as I understood the words. "Stay there." The video ended. I didn't go back to sleep. I didn't even stay in the apartment. I packed a bag and left before sunrise. I moved out that same day, didn't argue with the landlord, didn't ask questions. I just left. For weeks, everything was fine. No footsteps, no recordings, no strange layouts. I started to believe it was over. Until last night. I woke up suddenly at 2:41 a.m. My new apartment was silent. Too silent. I reached for my phone. No notifications. No camera installed. Nothing. Then I heard it. A soft knock. From inside the wall beside my bed. 3 slow taps, tap, tap, tap. I didn't move, didn't breathe. Then a voice whispered softly from the other side. My voice. Calm. Patient. Exactly like in the video. "You're still there." The wall made a soft cracking sound. A thin line appeared in the paint, like something pressing from the other side. And then I realized the truth. It wasn't following me. I never left. I'm still in the other room. And something else is living in mine. At exactly 2:41 a.m. every night, recording, waiting, for me to fall asleep. I didn't sleep after that, I couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I kept thinking about the video, about the version of me sitting in bed, smiling, looking directly into the camera like it knew I was watching, like it was waiting for me to understand something. Or worse, waiting for me to switch places. By morning, I had already made a decision. I needed to prove it wasn't real. I needed something physical, something that couldn't be explained away as stress or lack of sleep. So I went back, not to stay, just to check. The apartment building looked exactly the same as when I left. Nothing unusual, no broken windows, no signs of anything wrong. I unlocked the door slowly. The air inside felt cold, stale, like the apartment hadn't been opened in weeks, even though I had left only days ago. I stepped inside. Everything was where I left it. The couch, the table, the lamp, even the bag I had packed in a rush. But something felt off immediately. The space felt wider, not visually obvious, but you could feel it. Like the walls had shifted outward by a few inches. I walked slowly toward the bedroom. The door was open. Inside, the bed looked normal. The closet was closed. The camera was still in the corner, exactly where I left it. I didn't want to look at it, but I did anyway. The small red light blinked. Recording. Even though I had unplugged it before leaving, my throat went dry. I stepped closer. The cable was still disconnected. No power. But the camera was on. Recording. I picked up my phone and opened the app. The live feed appeared instantly. The bedroom. Normal. Empty. Then the image flickered and changed. The wrong room appeared again. The wider one. The distorted one. And in the middle of it, I was standing there, facing the camera. Not moving. Not blinking. Just standing. Watching. I slowly turned my head toward the real room. The physical room I was standing in. And for a moment, nothing was there. The room looked empty. Then something shifted in the corner of my vision. I looked back at the phone. The version of me in the video raised its hand slowly, then pointed. Not at the camera, at something behind it, at something in the room. I lowered the phone slowly, turned around. The closet door was open. I was sure I had seen it closed seconds ago. Inside, darkness. Too deep. Too far back. The closet wasn't supposed to be that big. Something moved inside. A shape stepped forward slowly, and I saw it again. My face, but closer now. Clearer. Wrong. The smile stretched too wide. The eyes didn't blink. And when it spoke, it wasn't from the closet. It was from everywhere. You came back. My legs felt weak. I need to understand, I whispered. The thing tilted its head slightly. You already do. I shook my head. No, this doesn't make sense. The thing stepped forward again. Closer. Too close. You saw the recording. I backed away. That wasn't me. It smiled wider. That's the problem. The air in the room shifted. The walls felt like they were moving again, expanding, stretching. The door behind me slid slightly out of place. Just like in the video, the wrong room was forming again. You don't belong here anymore, it said calmly. My chest tightened. This is my apartment. It shook its head slowly. No. Then it pointed at the floor, at the exact spot where I was standing. This is mine. The room flickered. For a split second, I saw it clearly. Two versions of the same space overlapping. My room and its room. Not identical. Not perfectly aligned. Like two realities pressed together. And I was standing in the wrong one. The thing stepped closer. Every night, it said, you almost switch. My heart started pounding. What do you mean? It leaned in slightly. Its face inches from mine now. Sleep is the door. I couldn't breathe. You open it every night. The walls creaked loudly. The closet behind it stretched deeper, darker. You just don't stay long enough. I stumbled backward. The bed behind me shifted position slightly, just like in the recording. Everything was wrong. Everything was moving. How do I stop it? I asked. The thing smiled. You don't. It reached out slowly. Its hand looked exactly like mine, but the fingers were slightly longer, too thin, too smooth. No one ever does. Its fingers brushed my arm, ice cold, and suddenly, I was back in my bed again. The room normal, the walls correct, the door in the right place, the closet closed. I gasped for air, my whole body shaking. Then I heard something. From the corner of the room, a soft, mechanical sound. The camera. I turned slowly. The red light blinked, recording. My phone vibrated. Another notification. Recording saved, 2:41 a.m. I didn't want to watch it, but I knew I had to. My hands shook as I opened the app. The video loaded. Night vision. The wrong room again. And this time, the bed was empty. No one was there. Then something moved. From the side of the frame. The version of me walked into view. Slow, calm, relaxed. It sat down on the bed, looked directly into the camera, and smiled. Then it leaned forward slightly and spoke clearly. Louder than before, confident, like it had figured everything out. "You're staying longer tonight." The video ended. I dropped the phone, and for the first time since this started, I understood what was happening. It wasn't trying to get into my apartment. It was trying to keep me in its room, and every night, I was getting closer to not coming back. I didn't leave the apartment this time. I couldn't, because for the first time, I understood the pattern. Running didn't help. Moving didn't help. It wasn't following me. It was waiting for me to fall asleep. That was the only moment it could open the door. And I had been opening it every night without realizing. Sleep. That was the door. So I made a decision. I wasn't going to sleep. Not at 2:41, not ever again if I could help it. I set alarms, made coffee, turned on every light in the apartment. I sat in the bedroom chair, facing the bed, staring at the camera, waiting. At 2:40 a.m., everything became quiet. Too quiet. The kind of silence that doesn't belong to a normal place. Then the camera flickered. Even before 2:41. The red light blinked faster. The room felt colder. And I realized something I hadn't considered before. It didn't need me to be asleep. It just needed me to be still. The timestamp on my phone changed. 2:41 a.m. The walls creaked, the air shifted, and the room stretched. Slowly at first, then all at once, the door slid out of place. The ceiling lifted higher. The corners of the room bent slightly. The wrong room was forming again. But this time, I was still awake, still standing, still watching. The camera feed on my phone activated by itself. The image appeared. The wrong room. And in it, I was already there, lying in bed, asleep. My chest tightened. That meant one thing: I hadn't stayed awake. Not completely. A part of me had already crossed over. The thing stepped into the frame. The other version of me in the bed didn't move, didn't react. The thing looked at the camera, then looked directly at me, through the screen. "You came in early," it said. Its voice echoed slightly, like it belonged to a larger space. I backed away. "No." It tilted its head. "You always do." The room around me shifted harder now. The overlap was stronger, more unstable. The bed flickered between two positions. The walls pulsed, expanding and collapsing. "You just don't remember." I felt something pulling at me, not physically, but mentally. Like my awareness was slipping, sliding toward the other version of the room, toward the one on the screen, toward the one where I was already asleep. "I'm not going," I said. The thing smiled. "You already are." The camera feed zoomed slightly, closer to the bed, closer to the sleeping version of me. And then something happened that broke everything. The sleeping version of me opened its eyes, slowly, and looked directly into the camera, then at me. Standing in the room, the thing stepped aside, giving it space, letting it sit up. My other self moved, slowly, calmly, like it had done this before, like it understood something I didn't. It swung its legs off the bed, stood up, and walked toward me. The room trembled. The overlap became complete. For a moment I saw both spaces clearly. Two versions of the same room, two versions of me, standing face to face. Only one of us looked afraid. The other one smiled. "Finally," it said. My voice, but steady, controlled, confident. "This one's better." I shook my head. No, this isn't real. It laughed softly. That's what I said. It stepped closer. Too close. You'll understand in a second. The walls snapped into place. The wrong room became solid, stable, permanent. I felt something inside me shift, like a pressure releasing, like a door locking. And suddenly, everything was quiet. Still. Normal. I was standing in the bedroom. The correct one. The real one. The door in the right place. The walls normal. The closet closed. The camera in the corner. Recording. For a moment, I thought it was over. Then I looked down at my hands. They didn't feel right. Smoother. Colder. I moved my fingers. They felt delayed. Like they belonged to someone else. I turned slowly toward the camera. The red light blinked. Recording. My phone vibrated. Recording saved, 2:41 a.m. I opened the app. The video loaded, and my chest tightened. Because the footage didn't show me standing in the room, it showed something else. Someone else. Standing in my apartment. Looking around. Touching things. Testing the space. It looked exactly like me. But the way it moved, the way it stood, the way it smiled, it wasn't me. It leaned toward the camera and spoke softly. Clear. Calm. Satisfied. This one fits better. The video ended. I dropped the phone. My mind racing, my breathing shallow. Then I heard something behind me. From inside the closet. A soft movement. I turned slowly. The closet door creaked open. Darkness inside, deep, endless. And from inside, I saw it. The original version of me. Standing there, watching, trapped, its eyes wide, terrified. It reached toward me, pounded on something I couldn't see, like it was behind glass, behind a wall, behind reality itself. And I understood. Too late. I wasn't the one who made it back. I took a step toward the closet. But my body didn't move the way I wanted. My movements felt wrong, too smooth, too controlled, like I wasn't the one making them anymore. The thing inside me smiled. I felt it. Not on my face, but inside, like a second presence using my body. The version of me in the closet screamed silently. No sound. Just panic. Desperation. Then the closet door closed. Slowly. And everything went quiet. It's been 3 nights now. Every night at 2:41 a.m. the camera records. And every morning, I watch the footage. I see myself moving through the apartment, learning, adjusting, becoming more natural, more convincing, more human. And sometimes, just for a second, the camera glitches, and I see the other room, the wrong one, the one with the shifted walls, the deeper closet, the place I'm still in. And in that room, I'm still standing there, still watching, still trying to get back. But the door doesn't open from this side anymore, because now I'm the one inside the apartment, and something else is living my life, waiting for me to fall asleep, so it can switch again. At exactly 2:41 a.m.,